All right, that was a pretty fucking metal intro for pretty fucking metal cryptid.
Did enjoy.
My name's Bobby. This is Bobby's Cryptid Corner. Can you guys hear me?
No.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
We got a full house tonight. I would say I'd call this a
Right.
full house.
Start off the year with.
We got Uncle Jesse, and we got what's that little girl's name that lives next door? DJ's best friend. What's her name, guys? You know what I'm talking about. Kimmy.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Kimmy. We got Bree, KARI,
that's me,
Jaimie,
allegedly.
And Tony's here per usual.
Kraken
right?
Slayer.
You guys wanted me to introduce you, right?
No, that was horrible.
No.
Everybody, welcome to your Tuesday night. It is time for Bobby's Cryptid Corner, where every Tuesday we talk about the weird, the creepy, the cryptid, and all things weird, paranormal, whatever it is, whatever we're weirdly into. Named after our wonderful Bobby over here, who did not know how to intro the show, but that's okay, because as a team, collectively, we all figure it out.
What are we here to talk about today, Bobby?
Full House references. We're talking about the most metal monster of the deep, the cryptid, or is it the Kraken? We haven't done a aquatic cryptid in a while.
No, we have not.
No.
But I think before we even get into it, though, do we have a video we're going to show?
Yes. There's some
let's
you know
what?
Wait, Bobby, you want to talk a little bit about it first, or no?
Yeah, I was going to say there's some very recent Sasquatch footage that came out off the coast of Ontario, I believe, or one of them lakes or rivers in Ontario. And it's pretty compelling because there are people saying this is some of the best footage in a very, very long time. You want to?
We'll be the judge of that. We'll be the judge of that.
So these are people on a boat, and if you watch here, it'll kind of
boat folk.
Zoom in a little bit, and you can see a kind of auburn, hairy creature walk across where those rocks are there in the center now. This video is going to play like the full raw.
Okay.
Pretty wild, and it'll get closer and
it'll get you a close up. Yeah. I love that they drove over there.
You're gonna make me turn into
they actually
serious science, KARI.
Yeah.
They actually saw it while they were filming, which is interesting because a lot of times, like, there's certain footage out there of people like just kind of looking at their vacation camping footage or whatever when they get home and they see something in the shot there. But this, they seem to have saw it and then, hey, let's move the boat over there and see what that thing is.
Yeah, look at that.
So I mean, it hits all the profile points. It's like auburny, brownish red hair. It's got that little hunch. It looks like it has a conical head. It's swinging its arms, kind of like Patty would in the Patterson-Gimlin film, which tells me if I'm putting on my skeptic hat, it's pretty. If it is fake, they were really trying to mimic the real Patterson-Gimlin film, I think. But I don't think it's fake. I think it's real as shit.
No, I agree with you. It definitely mimics the Patterson-Gimlin in the way it walks and everything. It's very on point with it.
Which could either add credit or take away credit. So I don't know. Anyone else have any thoughts on this new footage?
I'm going to give this one a full 8. I'm going to give it an 8.
An 8. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to leave some room for I'm going to leave some room for it being fake, but I'm going to give it an 8 as well.
Oh, yes. Okay, Bree.
For some reason, I don't know. I mean, they said it's in Ontario. We already know that Canada is one of the heaviest spots for Sasquatch, Bigfoot, also because it's so dense and it's forestry, and there's actually not a lot of people that live in Canada, surprisingly, which I had no idea about till recently.
For like especially compared to the landmass.
Yeah, for sure. Like if that was here in the States, I mean, Jesus, I feel like their entire population is maybe just California's population. So, I mean, it's a great spot for the Squatch to be chilling, and I guess I have to. I'll give it a 6.
Just go for really?
All right, Kari.
Well, I can't see any signs of it being CGI, so I'm leaning towards it just being a dude in a suit. Kind of like that thumbnail.
So you've actually seen a Bigfoot.
What I thought was a Bigfoot. I don't know if it was Bigfoot, but
no, it was.
Oh, stop.
Kari's
very skeptical.
It's definitely not a bear.
No.
I mean, I'm skeptical to a point, but
what's your number, Tony?
I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm gonna go with the 8.
Okay. Yeah.
I watched a lot of footage of gorillas.
It could either be or not. I don't think it's okay.
You're middle bitching
in terms of it actually being Bigfoot, no, I don't think it is. I think that's someone in a suit. Because it's not CGI, because it goes behind the tree and it's really stable with the frame rate. That's all fine. I think it's just someone in a suit. Also, why did they turn the boat towards it?
Oh, I would. Let's go.
I'd be like, nah.
I'd be like, let's go. Bree would definitely be like, let's go. I've seen her in action. She was walking towards shit.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, if it's a hoax, it's a really good one, I would say. And I was watching
unless it's tapping on the tent, then you're terrified.
I'll give the video but in terms of it being Sasquatch, I'm gonna give it a 0, big fat 0.
Okay, listen. Can I speak for a moment here? I would like to say that Kari, if this is someone in a suit, that's a pretty big fella. And he seems to fill out the suit pretty well. You know what I mean?
He's a big one.
It could just be padded.
I just can't imagine. Yeah, but look how tall it is. I mean, if you compare it to the rest of the trees.
Yeah, but there's no way
that
to tell.
Head is above. I know, but I mean that's a pretty large.
He goes behind that tree there.
Yeah.
His head is up here.
Yeah, but the tree, because he's higher than the base of the tree. He's behind where that tree is. When it zooms in, you'll see it better.
If they would have went over there and done a comparison, somebody stood on the rock where the...
Yeah, that's what we need.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was watching some footage of gorillas walking upright a little while ago, and it looks a lot more awkward than this. This looks like
yeah. No, this literally looks just like the Patterson gimlet. It's very identical to the stride.
It just doesn't look back.
It just doesn't look back.
The way the arms swing. When
it first comes in, you see the light. You see the light on
the face,
and he's looking towards the boat, and then looks at where he's stepping.
Yep.
What are we drawing from that?
He clearly sees that they're coming over there. See, right there's its face.
Oh yeah.
It's ooh, I see you.
So the person was just cruising.
Do we know exactly where this
was?
Exactly where in the lake it was?
Lake Ontario.
For all we know, there could be a whole camp right behind that tree line. So.
Well, what lake is
I don't know.
Yeah, what? Do we know where this was?
Lake Ontario.
It's either in Ontario or at Lake. I think it's Lake Ontario, which isn't necessarily in Ontario, if I'm not mistaken.
I feel you, Professor.
Lake Ontario is the most northern of the Great Lakes, correct? The coldest.
I'm gonna say it. Ooh, I'm gonna say them for sure because the Great Lakes.
Yeah.
Has always been a hot spot area, even down to the Aboriginal Indigenous speaking people there.
Would that not make it easier to fake something in that area, though, if it's a hot spot?
No, because, it's not really a hot spot. I'm just thinking, historically wise. And unless people have a show where they also have to look up other creatures and their entire history, which most people don't, I don't think that they would really know that.
But
we just know that because that's what we do.
Maybe the hoax is for people that are looking into it so that they know the law and then they go, oh my God, it's in that spot. It must be real.
Oh, no, I don't think so. All right. Well, that was a fun little way to shake up our evening. And Happy New Year to everybody. We didn't get a chance to say that yet.
Who?
Happy New Year.
I heard the number changed. something like that.
A number changed.
I have hope.
Yes, it's been like 2023 years since Christ was born. The year of our Lord. Yeah, the year of our Lord.
Well, it is a universal number 7 if you are into numerology. So let's think high hopes. We're doing good. All right.
It's supposed to be a good year. All right, Bree. As always, everybody, our drinking game is drinking anytime we cannot pronounce anything, which will happen eventually and multiple times over this episode. So, Bree, why don't you go ahead and bring it up? What we're all here for, the main event, the Kraken.
It's me.
Hell of an intro.
KARI, I would have put you in here. I didn't know, but I'm just gonna say you are the Kraken. This is
there. You go.
That works for me.
KARI's the boat.
No, because I don't let you guys ride me.
KARI's the weather. KARI's the weather.
There we go.
KARI's
I'm the weather. I'm all encompassing. I affect everybody on planet Earth, and you're all at my whim. That's great.
Can you guys just see how hilarious I look right here?
I love it. We all look so cute.
Which one are you? Oh, the little red hat.
Oh, yes. I put my face on like this little like Humpty Dumpty face and just put my eyeballs.
You do Dora face.
I don't know. KARI. It's a new, because it's a new year. It's a new Dora. All right.
God, I love the Kraken.
Go ahead, Jaimie. Well, we can go back and
the
forth.
Kraken.
There's 5 of us.
Is from Scandinavian folklore. Its origins, the word Kraken is derived from the Norwegian Kraken or Krakjen.
It'd be Kraken.
Kraken. Crake.
It's not
in
Kraken.
Well, I tried my best, so drink then.
So why? So drink.
Crake,
who's on? Okay.
In Norwegian means malformed or crooked tree, and the Kraken is frequently seen off the coast of Norway in the early 12th century.
Ew.
I have also heard that it could be translated in other Scandinavian cultures as unhealthy animal.
Oh.
Yes.
Interesting.
We're gonna go like mutated maybe. We're gonna go one by one here. So everyone's gonna be the captain after Jaimie. Now we're gonna have Bobby, and then everyone goes down for a slide. Sounds good?
Sounds good.
Yeah. There's one thing to know about the Kraken. It is its physical features. You may have heard it. You may have thought, you may think Kraken, if you're like me, you might think Kraken like from Clash of the Titans, where they took some liberties, the movie, I mean, they took some liberties as to what a Kraken actually looks like. But traditionally speaking, it's basically a giant squid, a very big giant squid. Squid, go back, please. Aggressive tentacles, sharp beak-like or a parrot-like. Looks like a big ass squid. I think there are some incarnations that look more octopus-like as well, but more or less it is the giant squid, which we will get into whether or not is this a cryptid or is it?
Oh
not?
Yeah, we're definitely we have a lot of material here today.
Yeah, dense.
I don't know why, but I had written this a sailor's worst nightmare. The Kraken would viciously attack the ship and its many arms, grip the sail with its tentacles, capsize the boat, and drag it down to the bottom of the ocean, leaving no soul behind. So this is definitely a sailor superstition. You guys can imagine if we were all in the sailing ages, how terrified you would be. The sea alone is already terrifying, but to have the thought of this giant lurking octopus squid-like beast possibly underneath your boat, your ship, your schooner, whatever it is you're doing, damn, that would be frightening.
I have a quick question for KARI, considering all that. Do you know of any like weather anomalies or phenomenons or something like that would like engulf a boat into some sort of like hole in the ocean or something?
Hole in the ocean.
I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like it would sink a boat in a very specific
like a whirlpool?
Yeah,
a whirlpool. If there was some kind of underwater earthquake that caused a cavity, you could get a.
There you go.
You could get a whirlpool, or you could get like a rogue wave or Bermuda Triangle, I guess.
Yeah. See, I'm already trying to
Bermuda
add
Triangle.
explanations to this.
Wait,
Yeah, I can't think of any weather
that's gonna be
phenomenon that
scary.
would do that. But
Yeah, that's what I mean. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Some sort of
I don't
physical
know,
Earth
a
phenomenon.
violent and prolonged lightning storm. Maybe.
There you go.
Yeah.
It can cause
I
the
don't know.
whirlpool
All right.
and then the earthquake.
Well, no, it would just burn the boat.
Kari.
But that's me.
Yeah. Kari's, yes, go ahead.
Oh, I get the long one. Okay.
No, you don't
First
have to read
century
that. The
AD.
side.
Pliny the Elder writes in book 9 of his Historiae Naturalis, Natural History, of a sighting around 150 BC in the Roman province of Betica, southern Spain. I mean, I could read that Latin, but
Can you
I'm not going to.
imagine 150 BC? So this is our very first introduction, technically, to what this creature could be. And Tony gets to read the long one.
Oh my! Well, they thought they had to encounter with some monster. Who wrote this? For
Old
People.
old people wrote it.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is
That's a real
150
Yeah.
BC. It's Pliny. It's 150 BC. They spoke differently.
Mm-hmm.
And it's translated from Latin.
Did you just say Pliny?
Pliny was his
Did I?
name.
It's Pliny.
Did I? Is that what I said?
They thought they had
Pliny,
an encounter
Pliny.
with some monster.
First of
Yeah.
all, some people would argue that his name is Plenty.
Ooh.
Ooh.
All right.
I
Okay,
mean,
continue,
with
please.
its terrible vapor, it drove away the dogs. There's dogs at sea.
Always.
And with the ends of its long tendrils, it would lash them. Sometimes, with its
Sea lion?
stronger arms, it knocked them as with clubs, so that it was with difficulty they were able to kill it with several 3-pronged spears. Its head was shown to drink.
Ulysses.
Lucullus.
Oh. Ulysses.
Ulysses. I was right. Yeah.
Is it? Somebody Google that. And was as big as a barrel. That would contain 15
Wait, what?
Foray. Its
Its
head.
Lucullus.
Lucillus. There, sure.
Oh.
Okay,
Just
How
whatever.
did we get to Euclides? Like what?
And its beards
Lucellus?
I quote the exact words of Tribius, a man could scarcely encompass with both his arms. They were full of protuberances like clubs and 30 feet long. The cavities or cups, sounds familiar, and hollow vessels were like great basins, and the teeth were conspicuous for their size. The remains were preserved for a wonder and weighed 700 pounds. That's a big bitch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn.
That is a very nice way of articulating what he had seen. And it's definitely that part that you were saying, Tony, you're like, sounds familiar. With the hollow vessels, it's like instantly we're talking like octopi, squiddy suction arms.
Mm-hmm.
I want to
Damn.
correct myself. Well, someone
150
corrected me. It's Lucullus.
Lucullus.
And actually, Tony,
Look
it's
at
Trebius.
It's what?
Trebius. I don't know. I just made that up.
Oh.
No. All right, go to the next one. Brie, I got it.
Okay, and let's let someone read without maybe, okay.
Interrupting.
Copy pasta.
So
Mom.
the next instance we have is Francisco Nigeri, who wrote the Vagino
Viaggio. Or
Viaggio.
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 Viaggio
There, don't worry.
Settentrionale.
Perfect, which was a 7th century Italian traveler's account of his journey through Norway, Sweden, and Finland. Francisco
guy's
wrote
Italian?
the first, Francisco wrote the first description of the Kraken and called it a sucukrak in the 1700s. And he describes the sucukrak as a massive fish which was many horned or many arms. He also distinguished this creature different from a sea serpent, specifically in his writing. He didn't say it was like a sea monster. It was like a massive fish that had lots of arms and horns.
Also, just like an octopi, they have those little horns at the top of their heads.
Mm-hmm. Some do, right above their eyes.
Some, yep.
Mm-hmm.
We have our friend Hans Poulsen.
Hans Poulsen,
Edge. That's what I kept reading it as. Edge. He's edgy.
He's edgy.
Now this motherfucker sailed from Greenland in about 1734, and he became the apostle. Is that what that says?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Of Greenland. He kept accounts of this particular journey, which I would suspect is some sort of account in which he saw a kraken. None of these sea monsters have been seen by us, nor by any of our time that I could hear, save the most dreadful monster which showed itself on the surface of the water off our colony. In 64 degrees north latitude, this monster was of so huge a size that coming out of the water, its head reached as high as the main mast. Sorry, I can't see anything. I'm gonna get closer.
Do you want me to read it? I can. Okay.
No.
Okay,
I can read.
Clearly.
Its body was as bulky as the ship and 3 or 4 times as long. It had a long pointed snout and spouted like a whale fish. What's a whale? I guess that's just a whale. That's what they called whales back then, whale fish. It had great broad paws. The body seemed covered with shell work, and the skin was very ragged and uneven. The under part of the body was shaped like an enormous, huge serpent, and when it dived again underwater, it plunged backwards into the sea and so raised its tail aloft, which seemed a whole ship's length distance from the bulkiest part of its body. Damn,
Daniel.
What the?
People started calling it the Great Calamari, and this is an artist depiction back in that day of the Great Calamari.
Calamari.
AKA the squid. The squid.
The squid?
The squid.
That's French.
Oui.
The squid.
Oh, oui.
The year was 1735. Carolus Linnaeus' book Systema Naturae had just been released. In his first edition, published in 1735, he classified the Kraken as a cephalopod, which the scientific name Microcosmus marinus was removed in the next publication, and Fauna Sukika describes the Kraken as a unique monster lurking the seas of Norway.
So this seems to be like accepted.
Even back in 1735.
Except it's interesting that he had put it down in this in the publication of all the different fauna and then retracted it later, which is interesting.
Well, is this because there was no actual evidence? It was just
possibly, yeah. I mean, it was all, yeah, you're right. All testimonial.
So then they got relegated to a unique monster because they couldn't classify it. So, scientists of the day were probably like, well, we can't confirm that is what we think it is, so we're not going to let it be that in the journal because it can't be peer reviewed.
Right. Scientists.
Tony.
Yes.
The year was 1752. Eric Pontoppidan. Who named these people back then? Oh, he's Danish.
Italians. Oh, this guy's Danish.
Yes. A Danish bishop and author writes of the Kraken in his book, Natural History of Norway. See, at least he named that normal. Eric believed
that's up
the
at the
Kraken. I saw it. Oh. Eric believed that the Kraken was 1.5 miles wide. Wow, we're getting a little crazy with these estimates here.
Huge.
It's huge.
1.5 miles wide.
You got to think
Eric
you got to think of the mindset of these people, right? You got to think about things like
Right.
you know, they're on the sea for a long time. They probably haven't seen anything cool in a while. You know, these are the people that thought manatees were like mermaids, right?
Go back.
So like if you see something that's going to break up the complacency and the boredom of the day on the sea, you might be prone to embellish it when you get back home to talk about it. You sit there and you think about it your whole trip back, and you finally meet people back on the shore. You tell them about your adventure on the sea. You're one of these people that has balls to go out on the sea in the first place. You might throw a little sugar and spice on that story, is all I'm saying.
Aw, man.
I noticed something with that illustration.
It looks like a shrimp. It looks like a big shrimp.
No, on the top frame, it's got like a long wormy thing and then the head coming out. It reminded me of Chinese dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That dragons get brought up later. Don't worry.
And like all the other things that we've seen.
I'm just short circuiting your whole thing there.
No, it's okay.
No, it's cool. It's a good point to bring up because I actually didn't even notice it. But yeah, it could go back to like, you know, all of the other not Tahoe Tessie, what's all the other ones? You guys know what I'm talking about.
Loch Ness monsters.
Loch Ness,
Yeah.
Oh, Champ.
Yeah.
Shame, eh?
So
okay, bud.
So Eric described the Kraken as an octopus of tremendous size with a reputation for pulling down ships. And a fun fact about Eric, he also believed in mermaids and wrote about them in this book as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something seems fishy.
Look, I don't trust a man in a collar like that either.
I do. He looks royal.
I see what you did there, Kari.
Kari looks good in a outfit like that as well.
No, I don't, and it got changed back, even though I said not to change it back. But it got.
I'm
changed.
mad. It was so good. Okay, next.
It wasn't. It was awful. Everything you make is awful, Jamie.
I'll take this one as well. So Alfred Lord Tennyson was an English poet who wrote the sonnet "The Kraken" in 1830, and the poet goes, "Below the thunders of the upper deep, far, far beneath in the abysmal sea, his ancient, dreamless, undivided sleep, the Kraken sleepeth. Faintest sunlights flee about his shadowy sides, above him swell huge sponges of millennial growth and height, and far away into the sickly light. From many a wondrous grout and secret cell, unnumbered and enormous polypi. Winnow, with giant arms and slumbering green, there hath he lain for ages and will lie, battering upon huge sea worms in his sleep, until the latter fire shall heath the deep. Then once by man and angels to be seen, in a roaring he shall rise, on the surface die."
Got a little Lovecraft at the end there.
Very.
It did. I'm a little bit mad that the last line didn't rhyme.
Or that. Well, it's supposed to lie and die rhyme. It's a sonnet.
It's 1, 3, 1.
Okay.
Yeah, 1, 3. Okay.
No.
It's 1, 2, 2, 2, 1.
It's not Dr. Seuss. It's fine.
Go ahead, baby.
Now we got Pierre Denis de Montfort. He's French. He's a nationalist. He wrote Histoire naturelle générale et particulare des mollusques. That's Italian. Mollusques. And in 1802, he recognized the existence of 2 species of giant octopuses. You got the colossal octopus, which is what we see here. It's a big octopus that attacks a ship, classic archetype of the sea. Then you have the Kraken octopod, deemed to be the largest organism in zoology, which we know is not true now.
Yes, but he's really the one who made this particular image famous, that you see everywhere. This one of the ship being dragged down by this giant squid-like creature.
I just had a thought.
They look like boobs.
Yes.
So this keeps cropping up with people citing it in their papers and stuff. Do you think that was because nowadays, if you want to like amend a journal, or you can just take it out. It's all mostly online now, right? Back then, it would have been like put in a journal, copied, and then sent off to like universities and stuff. But then they have to change it and then send out new ones. So maybe
not even really sent to
using
universities back in this time. This was a lot of stuff that was just they just distributed it, like a lot of pamphlets and stuff like that. So not a lot of these things went through like pure literally.
It sounds like you wrote a paper. Like,
well, yes and no. So that's what he was, being a French naturalist, but that didn't mean that back in that time it was like going through all of the channels. This was a dude who was just out there, who was exploring things and writing things down, very much so kind of like how Darwin did. He just like went out.
He's like a journalist.
Exactly.
Okay. Like a nature journalist.
Mm-hmm.
He was in fact a scientist.
I don't know.
Okay.
He was in fact a scientist.
So was
you can look at some of his papers
at the time?
No,
I don't know if it was peer reviewed. To be
I don't believe
honest,
so.
I should have left. I had another slide of it. I deleted it. I should have left it. Anyway, Huffaguffa. Is that the next slide? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like Huffaguffa. It's
whatever floats your boat, man.
Looks like a Pokemon with a heroin problem.
It does.
It says it's half gopher. Okay, it's half
gopher.
It is Old Norse, haf meaning sea and gofa meaning steam. A massive sea monster living in Iceland's water, which is Greenland. When the creature remains stationary, it is mistaken for an island. Uses its own vomit like chumming bait to gather prey fish.
Which is interesting, because if you hear about the things it was talking about in some of the other descriptions, it was talking about like these big barnacles and things growing off of it. And so it could be, if it was as big and massive as they say it is, like a mile long, if you had giant things growing off of it and it was sitting still, you 100% could mistake it for an island.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like a whale.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
You know, that reminds me of I don't know if you guys have ever covered it, Tortoise Islands. In Native American folklore.
We will now.
Yeah, you guys should look into that.
Okay, you're next.
Oh, it's me. Konungsskuggsja, Old Norse for King's Mirror. A Norwegian didactic text from around 1250. King Magnus Lagabote, the son of King Hakonson, he is the son of Hakon, wrote this as King's Mirror and as a handbook for a wider audience.
So the best way I can
what was the paper about? Because that didn't really tell me what the paper was.
Oh yeah, okay. So the best way I can really describe how this reads is, it's like it ends up being like kind of like a pamphlet that's handed out to people. It's almost like this dude's kind of declaration of how he's going to be a king when he's older, and he's talking about all these experiences that he went through and how he came to all these experiences. So the text starts off as him, like, it's literally kind of like an essay. It's him talking about the mission of what this paper is, and then he goes into like history of like the area that him and his family rule over, and like mythology and things like that. And then it all kind of ties back in the end to like religion, and then how he's going to, as a ruler, be fair and kind, and all of this thing and this history that he talked about is the reason why he's going to rule the way that he rules. That's the best way I could describe it.
Interesting.
And here we go.
Your father's in the chat.
Hello, Dad.
Hi. Hey, Papa.
Can't see you, Jamie, because you're behind the text. I'm trying. What?
Yeah.
Tell me in the chat, like, what's different about today's BCC that makes it better?
All right, Tony.
So hold on, I will say. So inside of this king's text that he wrote, he talks about this specific thing inside of here.
Okay, so he's talking about the Fornaldar saga.
Mm-hmm.
The legendary saga is a Norse saga that takes place before the settlement of Iceland. The sagas were probably all written in Iceland from about the middle of the 13th century to about 1400. The Hallgufa in the saga are reported to consume whales or ships and men. Ooh,
That's what she said.
Like the Kraken.
Just like the Kraken.
So
yes.
Now we're getting to Lovecraft's Cthulhu. Cthulhu is a great old one who lies in a death-like slumber beneath the Pacific Ocean in his sunken city of Riley.
It's pronounced
Perfect.
Riley.
And the great old ones are a group of unique malignant yes. beings of great power. They reside in various locations on Earth and once presided over the planet as gods and rulers. We all know I can't read. Baby?
This is how can we settle this right now? How are we pronouncing? Is it Cthulhu? Cthulhu?
It's Cthulhu.
Cthulhu.
It's Cthulhu.
It is debated.
It's not debated. People just say it wrong all the time. Then I get confused.
It's
Cthulhu.
All right.
Okay.
Fight, and whoever wins, that's what we'll say.
This is a hybrid of an octopus, a dragon, and a human all in one. Vaguely anthropoid outline, but with octopus-like head, whose face was a mass of feelers, a scaly, rubbery-looking body, prodigious claws on hind and fore feet, and long, narrow wings behind. A pulpy, tentacled head surmounted a grotesque and scaly body with rudimentary wings. So we are accepting that this is fiction at this point, right?
We all hope
yes.
so.
I mean, he is
only
an author,
for
right?
Cthulhu. Only
he
for
is a
Cthulhu.
Magician, though.
No,
and I think the point of pointing this out is that a lot of it's very easy to confuse Cthulhu and the Kraken together. But in Lovecraft's version, if you look at the text, he does describe this creature with wings, and you can see where he got his influence, his inspiration from the original stories of the Kraken.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally.
Like
Cthulhu also
daddy.
has an army of fish people. By the way,
yeah,
that's dope.
Oh.
It feels almost like Atlantean. This whole
very
thing.
Atlanteus, yes.
All right, so we're getting into Leviathan.
Let's unpack that a minute. What about it reminds you of Atlantis?
I don't know, like just the idea of fish people, and it's in the ocean. You got mythical creatures, you got tentacled things. I don't know. Yeah, it involuntarily popped in my head.
Lost City of Riley.
Yes, Lost City of Riley.
Talking about the old gods and all that shit. Fuck yeah, let's party.
Exactly. All right, Bree.
I think the Metallica's Call of Cthulhu, I don't think they even spell it with a K, do they?
Yes, they do.
But excellent song. All right, Leviathan. The sea serpents. An embodiment of chaos. It is referenced in several books of the Hebrew Bible, Psalms, the book of Job, the book of Isaiah, the book of Amos, and the book of Jonah. It's also mentioned in the book of Enoch. So mostly all First Testament accounts. Okay.
Ooh. Oh, copy paste. Hebrew Bible.
Hebrew Bible. Okay. Opa.
1861 is the year.
KARI was next.
KARI.
Is it KARI?
Mm-hmm.
We're going in order.
It is now. In 1861, in the Canary Islands, a French steamer, Electon, and his crew captured a giant squid and brought it to the French consul in Tenerife. The French Academy of Sciences mocked the idea of the giant squid. But they, I don't understand. So they capture it and then they go,
so
what the fuck is this?
They captured it. So Electon and his crew captured it. They brought it to the French consul. And when they sent out word to the Academy of Sciences for them to come check it out. And they were like, basically took it as a hoax.
Mm.
And that was it.
So
it was like, what? That's
the
it.
alien autopsy video.
But this is the rendering of the art of like what people actually saw. So of course, since there's no pictures, unfortunately, this is what we get. But this is a famous picture of this instance. This thing right here. All right, now it's Tony.
1870, Newfoundland coast had a series of beach squids proving their existence and proving Electon to be right.
I have a comment on this though. That thing is not nearly
9 years later.
Yeah, Wait, that's 9 years later?
Yep.
That guy's wearing a pretty modern suit.
That's the 1870s.
Time travel.
1870.
That picture's probably
wearing a white lab coat. The guy on the left is wearing a full tie.
That guy has
an Android.
1920s. An Android.
He has a Samsung
Tony's
Galaxy.
our only Android here.
Yes.
Yes,
Right.
exactly. It is interesting to think though that it was 9 years later. They're like, oh, should I guess there are giant squiddies? Wow.
Right.
Whatever you say.
So in 1874, in the Bay of Bengal, a steamship Strattownshend witnessed a 150-foot long schooner Pearl taken down by a giant squid. This attack inspired writers Jules Verne's 2000 Leagues Under the Sea and Peter Benchley's writer of Jaws and Beast, as well as author C. Clarke, Reflections of Squid.
We all know Arthur C. Clarke, The Beast. Who brought that up earlier? Someone in our chat brought that up earlier.
There was a very not very
you.
good 90s not made for TV movie based on Beast. And this was around the time, I'm sure we're going to get into it. This was around the time when they finally did discover a giant squid.
First, we are going to read the account because this is an extremely famous account, basically of a shootout, like with cannons and everything towards a Kraken. So, who read last?
Jamie.
I don't remember.
I'm going to say that you need to read this, Brie, because it's so small.
Okay, there's two of them. So Bobby, can you read? Can you see it or no?
I can't read and I can't see. Hold on, I can read. I'm gonna full screen you guys.
Yeah, just full screen it.
You have glasses. Damn.
These are blue blockers.
Oh, never mind.
Thanks for calling that out. A great mass rose slowly out of the sea, about half a mile off on our larboard side. I'm not a sailor. Remained spread out, as it were, and stationary. It looked like the back of a huge whale, but it slopped less, and was of brownish color. No, color, that's how you spell it over there. Even at that distance, it looked longer than our craft, and it seemed to be basking in the sun. It's getting a little tan there on that squid. What's that? I sung out to the mate. Blessed if I knows. Barring its size, color, and shape, it might be a whale, replied Tom Scott. And it ain't the serpent, said one of the crew, for he's too round for that eerie critter. By this time, 3 of the crew, Bill included, remember Bill from earlier in the story, had found axes and one a rusty cutlass. And we're looking over the ship's side at the advancing monsters. We could now see a huge oblong mask moving by jerks just under the surface of the water in an enormous train following. God, that's fucking scary the way that's. You think about a giant underground fucking locomotive, and that's a sea monster.
Exactly.
The wake or train might have been 100 feet long.
Imagine that. 100 feet.
Well, you're saying the
time
is scary as it is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
We don't need these things to keep it scary.
Let's finish what Captain James Floyd had to say. And the time I have taken to write this, the brute struck us, and the ship quivered under the thud. In another movement, monstrous arms like trees seized the vessel, and she keeled over. In another second, the monster was aboard, squeezed in between the 2 masts. Bill screaming, "Slash for your lives!" But all our lashing was to no avail, for the brute, holding on by his arms, slipped his vast body overboard and pulled the vessel down with him. We were thrown into the water at once, And just as I went over, I caught sight of one of the crew, either Bill or Tom Fielding, squashed up between the mass of one of those awful arms. So the story goes, Captain James Floyd writes this letter, and only him and 4 other members of the crew survived this battle. So we have the whatever his first boat was, like Squishmardarsh. I think it sounded like that. Squishmardarsh. Watching Squishmardarsh, watching the Pearl, another ship, a schooner, go down, and they're trying to help them, but instead basically everyone besides 5 people die. And just you think about how this carried on, not just from all the other stories and like the Jaws things before, but you can also think Pirates of the Caribbean, the Black Pearl, right? This ship that went down was the Pearl.
You had how many ships were called the Pearl?
Probably quite a few.
No,
About
just this
4,000.
No, just this one.
It's like John or Tom.
It's as common as Enterprise.
It's also what I
Just
call
this
my
one.
clam.
Your clam?
Yeah,
I had clam chowder.
her name's
for lunch.
Pearl. Yeah, you did.
Wow, here we go. Now we're getting through with things.
All right, Kari.
I'm still. How do we take these?
Anyway,
last turns?
I had
Hold on.
lobster bisque for dinner.
There's nothing for me to read. I win.
No. So this is just so yes, they fired cannons, guns, everything at this creature to try and take it down. It was a quite
another
shootout.
one again.
And then
This is an old illustration showing the sailing vessel attacked by an octopus in the Indian Sea.
I remember Ancient Aliens doing a whole episode on like mollusks, I guess, or like octopus.
Oh yeah, saying they're not from Earth or something like that.
But like, what was the alien angle to that? That they were just like renegade DNA, and it doesn't make sense. They exist.
There's pretty much
So
yeah.
alien.
Yeah, because they're so
they're
intelligent,
smart.
like the way that they are. Yeah, how they can like communicate, do tasks. They understand like how to open and like close things. Like they're very highly intelligent.
So
dolphins.
my wife refuses to eat pork because pigs are so smart. I can't give up bacon, but I do love bacon, octopuses so much, and the more I learn about octopuses, it's hard for me to eat.
Did you watch My Octopus Teacher?
What?
Did you watch My Octopus Teacher?
Is that a movie?
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix. Go watch it. It's my movie recommendation for you, Bobby.
Is this like new? Is this a new movie?
I have seen it twice, and I have cried like a baby both times.
Yeah.
Sounds right up my alley.
Anyways,
if you want to learn about it's a documentary about an octopus, like a man and an octopus and their special relationship.
it is really fucking intense, and it gives me the chills thinking about it.
Oh,
it's like
I
the
saw
circle
that
of
on The
life,
Boys.
and like what?
The relationship between a man and his octopus was on the second season or the third season of Boys. With
Oh my god, no, not that.
Oh,
Okay, Kari.
Yeah.
It's all you, love.
It was the
Broke.
night of January
You don't have
8th,
to read. I can read.
1875. I can read, Bree. I'm not stupid.
I mean, I
I
don't
can
know.
read. It's okay. You don't need
You
to
read
I
this
can
better
read.
than all of us. You know all the big words, all the
Because
Latin
I'm
words.
smart.
It's because you're British. Bastard.
The weather fine and clear. The wind and sea moderate. Observed some black spots on the water. And a whitish pillar.
You can
About
never keep it up, and
35
it's
feet
so
high. I
good.
can never keep
About
it up.
like a third.
I know, and then you give up.
Above
I was-
them, the
I was,
first
like,
bloods
there.
I took, all to be breakers. As the sea was splashing up, fountain-like about them, and the pillar, a pinnacle rock, bleached with the sun. The pillar fell with a splash, and a similar one rose. They rose and fell alternately. What?
Alternately.
You said it right. Alternately.
Alternately, in quick succession. And good glasses showed me it was a monster sea serpent coiled twice around a large sperm whale. Well,
Kari, I feel like we're underutilizing your English accent on this episode.
I agree. We are.
I need you to ham it up even more.
You want me to ham it up?
Sound like a pirate, goddammit.
Let me get in the acting zone.
Yeah.
Here is the artist rendering here of the sea serpent, the sperm whale that was eaten here by the paling. And so what people assume here is that he did in fact see an octopus. He was just looking at one arm of the octopus that was there grabbing that whale and bringing it on down to the ocean.
Listen, my cousin's sister takes offense to your accent.
I do too.
It's all right because I'm married to your cousin's husband's best friend's sister's wife's brother, who's also your daddy.
That's true,
right,
but the fun part is we mess around all the time.
Climate change. What are your pronouns?
All right, Tony, go ahead.
So there's the
Odyssey.
We don't have to really go into this. I'm just trying to show again how the Odyssey also most likely derived from the stories of the Kraken, except in this case, we're talking six heads. And we have seen this again in Clash of the Titans. This was the OG version here, this giant rah! And Clash of the Titans in 2010 had more of a modern day outlook on the Kraken, which Bobby had said actually in the beginning of this episode.
Now, if you watch 1981's Clash of the Titans, the guy that did the stop motion animation is the king of stop motion animation. His name is Ray Harryhausen. This is probably his last big hit, I would say, because he was very old when he made Clash of the Titans. But he did Jason the Argonauts. He did a bunch of Sinbad movies from the 60s. Really cool, old school, mid-century special effects stuff. So if you're into that kind of thing, I can't recommend it enough. Look up Ray Harryhausen.
Stop animation is just really awesome. I mean, just to think about amazing. How every single second it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Who read last? Oh, I think Tony, you're not.
It's Tony.
It's my turn. There are around 300 species of octopi we know of. There are more than 300 species of squid we know of. So does that include the little shitheads, the cuttlefish?
Yes. And it's interesting because it says there's around 300, but more than 300 of squids. It's the distinction of the two. They don't have an exact number because they're constantly finding more all the time. Mm-hmm. And so squids, there's a big difference between the two of them. And once we read this, it's interesting when you look back at all the other information of what you think that they saw. So squids have a more triangular shape and 10 limbs, 8 arms and 2 tentacles, whereas octopuses have round bodies and 8 sucker-covered limbs. And what's interesting is you kind of have a weird hybrid between the two of them because they talk about a lot about the more squid version of it with I remember one of the things they were talking about is it attacked it with its limbs, but then with its strong arms, it did something else. And that is so indicative of how a squid would do things. Whereas an octopus is all the arms are kind of treated as the same way and not necessarily one being stronger than the other. So both of these animals can range in size, but the largest are squids. They're around 60 feet long that we know of. And they're far larger than what octopuses can be. And right now, octopuses are about 16 feet long. Thank you, Greg.
Oh, thank you, Greg. All right,
this
Bobby.
This is the Archipethius ducks, also known as the giant squid. 13 meters for female is the largest length so far. 18 meters is the largest found. Here we go. These things, I mean, we don't even need a fact or sci-fi. These things are real.
It's 100% real.
Right. So I put debatable here because not just because there's hoaxers on the internet, but because we know that every time they come up with a number, all of a sudden a brand new squid is found. And so that might trump the latest known length that we know of. So this is debatable. This is just what we found. And so, damn, why did I get the hard one?
Yeah. Miso
squiddy.
Miso squiddy hamutani. Misonichonitis hamutani basically is the fancy word for a colossal squid. So it depends on the person, the scientist that you're speaking of, but there has in fact been a different whatever. There has been a separation here of the giant squid and a colossal squid. So you have the last one, they just say arch, it'll be like arch ducks and then the different version, or the mess and then whatever. So the colossal squid is the cousin to the giant squid. So it battles it in length, but overall it is the largest in mass. It's actually the largest vertebrate animal.
Non-vertebrate.
Known to humanity. Look at this beast.
Ooh.
Damn.
So we can
it makes some good calamari though.
It's wide. And so this is just like we can see here the difference here of like, unfortunately, yes, because humans are disgusting. I was talking to you earlier today when I was trying to look up different things, and I was like, "Oh my god, I can't watch it! I can't watch it! I can't watch it!"
It does
but you can see here that even just with the squid, that you have these large. The colossal is the large in mass, but the giant is the really long. And think of it compared to, this is just Pacific octopus, so we don't, take that with a grain of salt. But look how small what we found compared to the squids. Kind of crazy.
There's a huge size difference.
Huge. We're going to go through a series of photos here and try to think of all of the stories that we've heard earlier tonight with the pictures that we, just as little humans, have found. And we know that these are lurking in the deep, deep sea. And a lot of these are kind of recently found as well.
Like if I was swimming and I saw that, nope. Oh, wait, stop. Why does it look like it has a gnome face?
This is a troll. Oh my god, okay. I told Kari that I actually think that this is an alien, and it is masking itself as the king of trolls of the underwater.
Yeah, this one literally looks like a gnome head with tentacles.
Did you save the crop of the face?
Yes.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Tell me that's not creepy.
It is.
Are those little blue things? Are those eyes? What is?
Yeah,
what's
that's
that blue glowy thing. Is that its eye? Jesus Christ.
And does this not look like a goddamn nose? Like,
yeah,
this is like
so
an eye,
creepy.
a nose,
it's like one of those
hat.
like Greek masks.
That's called
I hate
pareidolia.
Yeah, pareidolia for sure, but I'm also like dead serious terrified of this. This is
I'm gonna start eating these things again.
I was like, yeah, go ahead, Greek calamari for us all. Oh,
I've never had any kind of seafood.
That one looks like a danger blue waffle.
Other than fish.
Wait, are you serious? Wait,
no,
what?
I'm serious.
No, I've
categorically refused to ever have sushi or calamari or anything.
You've never had
this one's not as scary. This one's not as scary. This one just looks like a sad upside down robot.
Okay, this one is viral. I think we've all seen this one because it looks like a legitimate alien.
Yeah, I saw this one.
Oh.
So this is off an oil rig, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look at you embedding YouTube videos.
How big is that thing supposed to be? Oh, wow.
It's huge. It's fucking massive.
It is huge.
What the? It looks like something from Metroid.
It does.
Could you imagine if you were underwater?
That's comfortable.
I was like, if you were underwater at this drilling thing, I swear to God, there was a movie that was literally just like that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shell.
I mean, there's.
Yeah, that was 7,800 feet down.
Can I see that footage
We're gonna have
again?
to watch this again.
Can we play it again? Yeah.
Pretty sure that was. Is that not meters down?
Yeah.
No, we're in America. Yeah. We talk feet.
Dude, those things are aliens. Look how long.
7,828.49. I bet you that's fucking miles.
It's not miles, Brie.
7,000 meters.
It is miles. It's sea miles.
Sea miles.
Have you ever heard of SM? It means sea miles.
Fucking terrifying.
It is terrifying.
And the thing is that if they didn't have an oil rig there, we would have never gotten a video of something as big as this. Because like, when else are we just hanging around there?
Oh my god!
What if you were just swimming around and all of a sudden you were in like a forest of those like tentacle things? And you're like, what the hell is this? Then you look up like 60 feet and you see like the body of a giant.
I think I would literally like drown and die, and like, because like I was like, yeah, I'd stop breathing. Like, I don't know, yeah, wild.
I don't like any part of it. It's uncomfortable. This is in the Provincial Museum of Natural Sciences and Oceanography on exhibit in Argentina. This thing is large.
It is large.
Large. It's large.
Large.
Here's another large one now. They do look a little bit like underwater trolls. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but these ones look so much smaller compared to the ones that we were seeing in the water that were so big. Like, these look like tiny little potatoes.
No, but you see, they are large. Okay, so the other one that we were looking at, the body was small. The tentacles were long. This here, we got a chubby bubby with the Pope hat on here. It's very big, body wise, not necessarily just the tentacles. I mean,
oh, why is she laying next to it? Get out of here, girl.
Creepy.
No.
So I definitely wanted us to look at all of this because when I listened to the stories that we read earlier, if I were then back in the day seeing anything that looked remotely like this, I mean, I would assume it was also some giant crazy monster, right?
Well, look.
So in 2012, Japan's National Science Museum, their team with students, along with a couple of other people there at National Geographic, they were able to film for the very first time a 24-foot long squid that was alive. So before, it was always washed ashore dead. This was the first time they got to see it live. They baited it with another squid, unfortunately. I hope that's a fake one. But it was huge. Fucking huge. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Ooh, is this another big baby?
Wait, hold on.
Skirt. From the window.
Oh, maybe it is the one. Okay. This is just food for thought of like, we don't know what lurks in the ocean. I put this in here just for fact or sci-fi.
Looks like maybe a jellyfish.
That's a jellyfish?
I think jellyfish, yeah. If I had to guess, jellyfish.
It's a jam
never
fish.
seen a jellyfish.
It's a jam fish. Looks like a plastic bag.
That just looks like it's something from
I don't know.
It does.
Yeah.
It is
jellyfish
from the abyss.
Jellyfish.
It indeed
So,
is from the abyss.
I forget what the explanation for that is, but it is some actual type of living creature. I can't remember if it's like a
jellyfish
colony or it's like some type of jellyfish, but it is a real thing.
It's a jellyfish. It's a jellyfish.
Jellyfish.
It is. I've seen jellyfishes like that. You're just thinking of like the cute jellyfishes that they have at like the aquarium that like light up.
First off, there are no cute jellyfish.
Yes, there are. There are adorable jellyfish that have beautiful colors. They have deep down in the lurks of the ocean are big, giant, gross, dirty, nasty jellyfish that are all mangled and blobby. That's how they be.
Ooh. Why are you judging?
Yeah, why are you judging the jelly?
I'm not. That's you.
Yeah,
I don't think you're ready for this jelly. I don't think you're ready for this jelly.
I'm wearing my jellies right now.
You used deflection. It was not effective.
Did you guys know that because of global warming, that jellyfish
global warming's not real?
Okay, well, because of the rise in sea temperatures, it has overproduced mating for jellyfish. And so we have an unseen amount of jellyfish in numbers than we've ever seen before. And they have migrated in places in which we've never seen before as well, where usually there's a fertile period where they like migrate up north, they get impregnated, they birth them out, whatever. Then there's a cycle of life here. Now we just see boom. This is the baby boom of jellyfish. That is the era in which we are living in because of water warming.
Well, can I
heard that on NPR as well.
One time I went to the Monterey Bay Aquarium and I got to go backstage and see where they keep all the jellyfish and they talk about them. And did you know that jellyfish, like little ones, only have like a certain life cycle, like they only live for so long and then they die. Do you want to know what the place does with the dead bodies?
Feeds them to the turtles.
Yes, they feed it back to the jellyfish. It's the greatest source of nutrition for the baby ones. They just feed the dead ones back to the baby ones and continue the cycle backstage. They have like a whole little thing that they do.
Circle.
They suck out the dead ones, feed it to the babies. Then the babies, and then they grow, and then they go out, and then they perform, and then they die, and then they get eaten by their children. It's a circle of life.
We're in the wild, in which we're in the baby boom of jellyfish.
Well, that's good for the sea turtles because sea turtles eat jellyfish.
But not good news for jellyfish contraception.
That's true.
I know their stock is tanking.
It is. Right? That's why they keep throwing plastic bags into the ocean to kill.
Did you know that on Catalina Island they have like a buffalo there? I believe it's like buffalo or some big animal. I want to say it's buffalo, and they actually give them bison. It's bison, and they give them birth control so that they don't mate.
Sounds like
they literally put birth control in their food and give it to them, and they're like, "Thank you, live here."
Oh, humans are so virtuous.
Yeah, but it's not like it's not like human birth control. It's like
the fucking
bison birth
Planned Parenthood on Catalina.
I mean, I'm just saying, if they do that to animals, imagine what they're doing to us.
Oh, I know.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Well, you know what? They're not trying hard enough.
I made a mess.
They're not trying hard enough. They're not trying hard enough.
No, right now they want children. That's the thing that they're doing. They want more babies right now because there is an issue with not enough of the population because there's not going to be enough to continue to go on.
Are you sure it's not the companies want to farm them
humans?
for food?
Yeah, humans.
I know, like
literally, yeah.
No, they're literally trying to cull everyone right now.
No, that's the opposite of that. No, they're trying to breed more. They're like more. Yes. That's how they create chaos.
So. That's what Japan's trying to do, anyways.
Are we talking about culling of bison or culling of humans?
Yeah, we're very confused.
She's talking about how there needs to be more humans.
Dennis is upset. Excuse me. Jelly saved me during the lockdown. It's marbles. It's marbles. Please apologize for your childish outlook. I apologize, Dennis.
I'm so sorry, Dennis.
I
don't know what you're saying, but I
I think his picture's pretty cool. A Sasquatch on a slice of pizza.
Okay, wait. So Dennis is saying, excuse me, jelly saved me during the lockdown. I'm jellyfish, and it's marbles. Maybe the marbles was the name of the jellyfish.
Ooh.
Tell him, Dennis.
We're gonna need to be more specific.
Why don't we have this person come on for an interview about jellyfish?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Dennis. I apologize. I don't know what I'm apologizing for, but I'm sorry for it.
I was so terrified.
I don't know.
I
felt bad.
Oh my god.
Hawaii. What happened at Hawaii?
Hawaii. No, the lagoon that I was at.
She saw John Cena and creeped on him.
It's Hawaii. When I was in Hawaii, there was.
You looked at an empty chair. That's what you did.
Hawaii?
Yeah.
There was a lot of jellyfish in the lagoon, and I was terrified. And I'm like swimming in the water, thinking no one ever got stung. And then a lady next to me was like, "I was stung this morning, and it hurt so bad."
Oh my god!
And you just have to make sure that you're not allergic. So just run inside as fast as you can if anything happens.
And then have your husband pee on you.
Yeah.
And then they said that wasn't true. And I was like, but that's everywhere in the world. What are you talking about? Of course it's got to be true. And they're like, no. They put vinegar on it.
Yeah.
Some shit like that.
Yeah,
vinegar.
Brie, was that your last video?
Vinegar.
Yeah. We went through like 50 slides, like really
Holy
quick.
shit, we've been so fast.
Wow.
All right, well, I guess it's that time, you everybody, where we're going to talk about fact or
everybody.
sci-fi. Bibby,
Oh wow!
right off the top, take it.
Oh, these are objectively real.
Okay.
The Cthulhu, I don't know, maybe. But yeah,
Wait, Kraken or Cthulhu?
No, I'm saying like the giant squid in which the Kraken would more or less be based on is definitely real. I think things like Leviathan is a little more symbolic, not to be taken as literally if we look at it from like a biblical context. Mm-hmm. And then Cthulhu is a fun inspiration of real life squid creatures mixed with the old gods. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go hard fact on the giant squid, though.
So what number? What are we doing? A 10?
10.
Oh, wow. Whoa. Okay, Bree, what about you?
10.
Wow. Okay, perfect. Wow. Kari, I'm going to skip you because I feel like you're going to ruin it. So I'm going to fact it as well. Yeah, I'm going to fact it as well. Solid 10. What about you, Tony?
Well, as we look back at the stories we were told here, the story. Fuck you, Kari.
Oh, we gotta put it back in. Okay, go ahead.
So the story with the sperm whale is sperm whales actually eat giant squid. So what they were probably seeing was one coming back up with a squid still in its mouth and its arms wrapping around the whale. And as far as like the sailors seeing them, when they die, they float back up to the surface. They're full of ammonia and all sorts of other stuff. So they float up to the surface. So all the other sightings were probably of dying or nearly dead giant squid. So I've got to give it 100% fact 10.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, and I would just say, obviously, can I just go back to me real quick?
Yeah, sure.
I think that some of the accounts are definitely embellished, but they are real. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Okay, Kari, go ahead, take it away.
Well, I'm interested in the earlier accounts, to be honest. How these things became kind of seafaring mythology back in the adventurer times, where everyone ran around on boats.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
In terms of like the Kraken as we think of it being real now, no, because I think a lot of it was conflated with giant squids and octopuses. But yeah, it's definitely interesting, but I'm gonna have to give it a 0.
Wow.
What? So.
Wow. Dennis says that all mature men and women know about Shelley's marble racing.
Oh yeah, I saw that on Ozzy Man reviewed it.
I would just like us to think that I mean, who's to say what the hell is lurking in the deep depths of the ocean?
For sure.
And especially what's happening, you know, the way that we have been taking advantage of our planet. If I were a Kraken, I would stay way far away from humanity and just stick to the very bottom of the ocean. So I'd like us to just keep in mind that we keep finding these giant squids, and who's to say that there isn't the mother of all mother giant squids lurking at the bottom of the ocean, just waiting to eat.
Can we factor sci-fi climate change now?
Yeah, you opened the door. Let's have this debate.
No, you know why? You know why? Because it's a scientific fact, so it's not really up for any of us to factor sci-fi it if it's a scientific fact.
I mean, as the consummate weather professional here.
Okay, it's not that I don't believe in climate change. Like, I believe humans are ruining the earth and everything, but I also believe that the earth goes through cycles and that it's currently going through a heating cycle. And I think that the Earth will be here long after humans are here. So if anything, we're just ruining it for ourselves, and the Earth will come back up and conquer. It's been through plenty of different phases and things. So like, it's not that I don't think like climate change is real, but I'm just saying like the Earth also can just withstand a lot more than people think. And like, it'll bounce back. We won't be here, but it'll bounce back. It'll be fine in a few million years from now. It'll be chilling again. We just won't be here.
I don't think the argument is whether or not that global warming will be so bad that all of a sudden the planet explodes. It's just it will no longer be habitable.
Yeah, we'll all die,
I'm
and
so
that's our own
sorry I
fault.
opened this,
but like,
Tony.
I was like,
Global
you
warming.
wanted to
I'm
go
so
there.
sorry.
It's just global warming. So like, that's not really like a point of, it's like, yeah. But the fact is that global warming is happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta go. It was really fun, guys. I'm so glad we were here tonight.
I was like, you guys started this. Okay, any final thoughts, anybody?
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to say for me. Okay, what, Kari?
Right. You're half right there.
I know.
There are multi-decadal oscillations and cycles within the Earth's atmospheric system.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Humans are altering those cycles and changing the rate at which the oceans heat, and it throws the salt water and the fresh water.
Oh, for sure. No, absolutely. But I also just think I get it. But I'm like, at the end of the day, the planet I think is going to be fine. Like, because I genuinely think that humans are like a bacteria on Earth, and Earth is just literally trying to get rid of us. They're like, ew, we're gross. We're gonna heat up, warm up, and get rid of you nasty motherfuckers. Like, and the Earth is literally like throwing up everywhere and diarrhea all over.
I'm out of here.
Does not mean that we don't have. I'm not doing this now.
Bye, Vivi. Y'all want to ask questions.
I'm gonna pull the pin out of this grenade and leave the room.
Exactly.
That's exactly what he did.
Thanks, Bibi. Any final thoughts?
We lit the match.
Whole show.
We lit the match and walked away.
Great. That was fun, you guys. We'll see you guys.
Wait,
play the outro. Just play the
Bobby's
outro.
Cryptid Corner. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Climate change.
Degenerate.